I used to think that being an introvert was a bad thing because I would see extroverted people connect with people so easily. And I would think like as an introvert, like, oh, that's how you're supposed to live, right? But that's not really the case. Being an introvert is actually kind of a superpower. But first you have to understand like what does it mean to be an introvert? Because most people get this wrong. So being an introvert, all it means is that you get your energy from being alone. So extroverted people, they get their energy from being around other people. Introverted people, they get their energy from being alone. The best analogy I've heard about this is, let's say coins represent energy, right? An introvert, they start the day with, like, let's say 10 coins, and as they have social interactions, they start to give away their coins. An extrovert, they start the day with 0 coins, and as they have social interactions, they start to gain coins. So all it means is that it's where you get your energy from. And if that's the case, that means that you could still develop the same social skills that an extrovert has, but it'll just take more energy to do so. And once I realized that, I was like, okay, this is like the hack. This is like the key to like being successful as an introvert. It's you still have really good social skills, you still practice those, but you also prioritize spending time with yourself, because when you spend time with yourself, that's also when like you come up with ideas. At least for me, it's like, it's like when you're in the shower or you're on a walk, it's when like you're alone with your thoughts and you get to actually think more in depth about things. Of course, you could do that in conversations, but you can think more in depth if you're alone and you're not really overstimulated. You're not on your phone, and that's why we come up with ideas like in the shower, on walks. Is like we're not overstimulated. We're just like we're able to sit there with our thoughts. And I think that I really value that time, and that's where I come up with ideas for videos. That's where I can like write down other things I'm thinking about. It's really helpful in multiple ways, because when I'm writing, I get to process my thoughts and I get to organize them in a way that helps me make better decisions. So I really value that time. And I think, and as an introvert, you probably value that time as well, right? So how do you actually use that knowledge now to be successful? Well, first, it's like you pick a hobby that allows you to express yourself while you're being alone. So for me, it's making videos, right? So for you, it could be writing, could be making videos, could be, I don't know, painting, anything that's like you still are using your time alone in a way that benefits you, right? So that's one. And then two is you really focus on developing social skills. You start conversations with people. You still, make sure you're prioritizing this as a way to like develop yourself as a person, because having those social skills can take you so far, because relationships are so important. They're like some of the most important, maybe the most important aspect of life is your relationships. It's like your friendships, like your actual romantic relationship. It's like your relationship with your family. So developing those social skills, you could still prioritize that. And how you could do that is like you just start conversations with people. You ask them questions about their life. And if you have trouble starting a conversation, where you could use my chat framework, which basically you comment on what's around you, highlight something about yourself, assess if the other person wants to talk to you, because sometimes people don't want to talk to us, right? And then you toss it back to the other person by asking a question. So if you do that and you start conversations and you get to know people, you're still developing these social skills. And yeah, of course it'll take energy to do so, because that's what it means to be an introvert, right? Having social interactions means it takes energy. But it's worth spending that energy to develop those skills and still having something that you can lean back on that's like that you're passionate about. So like I mentioned, for me, it's making videos. So I think those are like the two key aspects of being successful and like happy as an introvert, is still developing social skills and having something like some sort of mission that you can work on by yourself, because then it just means your time alone, you're recharging, but you're also like doing something creative. Your mind is flowing. You're actually like pushing yourself a little bit. So I think if you do those two things, you'll see like a lot of positive growth in your life as an introvert. I hope this is helpful. And it's not easy. It's not easy to like, let's say make videos or like have a bunch of social interactions, especially if it takes energy to do so, right? But it will be worth it. Life's not easy, but it's worth it. Take care.